Unfortunately, we are missing 3 of our 7 members due to AP testing today. But we'd like to begin by thanking our wonderful mentors, Joel Byler and Stephanie Gandy. We are so excited to be here today and present our work to you. We were honored to be assigned the sample ballot and vote now pages.
So the brainstorming process was what we decided to begin with, obviously, like any team would. We met our mentors on the first day, Joel and Stephanie, and we had the opportunity to talk about what we knew from past coding experience and what we aimed to gain through this experience, so what we wanted to learn and what we wanted to gain coding-wise. And then we sat down and we talked about our assignment and what we wanted to include in the finished product. We adapted the phrase, make it work and then make it better. So first we benchmarked where we had to fulfill our assignment, and then we went back and we made revisions. And Kimberly will actually talk about one of my favorite revisions, which is called Slick.
So like I mentioned before over the microphone, one of the challenging parts was having to be split up for the majority of the week. And one of the challenges was that we had spring break. So Joel had given us a Ruby on Rails tutorial over GitHub, and although it was confusing, we were able to communicate with him and learn some of the syntax and some of the meaning of that new language of Ruby. And so I would like to show you our page and how it functions real quickly. So right now you're on our sample ballot page, which includes the national and state issues that we were given by another school whose job it was to research the issues. We have a horizontal scroll bar in which you can view the candidates for presidency. And then if you click on the question circle, it will give you a description of what the issue is asking for, and then details about your choices. So as you scroll down the page, we continue with the state issues, and as you hover, you can see yes or no. And then at the bottom of the page, we have our Vote Now button, which will take you to our Vote Now page, and you are redirected to the registration page before you can vote, because one of the requirements was that you had to register to vote before you can actually take part in this process. So now that you are registered, you can go to the vote page, and this is our ballot page in which we've removed the header and footer to make it seem more like a real ballot. And that was one of our requirements. So once again, we have information about each issue, and then if you scroll down to the bottom, you can either be redirected to our sample ballot page, or you can submit your vote. But if you don't select any votes, you're prompted to select at least one choice. And then say you just select one and then submit it. It'll prompt you if that is the correct choice you're making for that issue, and then as soon as you confirm, you get a message that your vote has been recorded. Also, I would like to refer to our code on a different tab. And so we had a shared workspace, which we discovered early on, that we could share our Cloud9 workspace with our whole team, and we can work simultaneously to edit and revise and make our code stronger and create a better web page.
A key component to our project was staying connected with one another, basing off what Kimberly was talking about, how we all have really busy schedules. Most of our team members are in sports right now, and having the different conflict of schedules was really tough for us. We were able to meet, though, once a week with our mentors, Stephanie and Joel, and we really stayed connected using Slack and Trello, which most of the other groups use as well. Slack was really beneficial for us because we were able to message if we had any problems or needed help debugging. We were able to contact Joel and Stephanie and ask for their help, and they were always there for us to help us out. Trello was another website we used for assignments. They gave us basically like cards, and we were able to put our assignments on cards and they were assigned to whoever. So if Margaret and I had an assignment, they would be assigned just to us, and we would finish our assignment and we'd be able to drag it into different statuses on the web page, which was really helpful, and it helped us. It made you feel really good when you finished your assignment because you were able to put that in that completed section of the web page.
Another great mode of communication we used was at the end of every meeting we would do something called retrospective, which was something that Joel introduced to us. I like to call it the post-it note method. We would draw up on the board a frowning face, a smiling face, and a non-emotion face, and each team member at the meeting would scribble on some post-it notes what they enjoyed about the meeting, what they learned, what they were confused about, what they were concerned about, a compliment to another team member, anything really that they wanted to include, and then we would review it at the end of the meeting so that we could cease all confusion and make sure that we're prepared for the next meeting.
So overall, we think this was a really extremely valuable and rewarding experience. We worked really hard every week to debug our app and make sure that everything was working smoothly, and really worked to make sure that we could make this the best that we could. And we were so happy to see our website come to completion and up and running smoothly. We were so proud to see that happen. And one thing that I would definitely take from this experience was a real appreciation for the collaborative process and working together.
One thing that I was super proud of was, as you saw on the sample ballot page, we included a jQuery plugin called Slick, in which we implemented the horizontal scroll bar. We had a vision to make it look like Netflix, so when you hovered over it, the image would get larger, and then you can view information on it. And I was just proud to see that vision come to life. Also, I think that the main educational thing that I would take away would be learning such a challenging language like Ruby and getting to use both the front and the back end through Cloud9 and really working together to create a successful website. And I think that this challenging experience will help me to want to learn more and progress my skills as a future coder.
Another thing that was really important to us was our use of our mentors. Like I said before, we're so grateful to have Stephanie and Joel on our side for this project. I'm not really sure if we could have done it without them. They were always there for us with help, and we really created a relationship with them, and hopefully on future projects we'll be able to work with them next year and stay connected to each other.
The last thing I'd like to add is that I do know that none of us became fluent in the coding program throughout the project. We did learn a lot, and if we would go back to the first meeting and talk about what we wanted to learn and what we discussed with that, I think that we definitely exceeded that expectation immensely. I would like to take from this experience the knowledge that I've learned and set forth to learn even more. I'm very excited to work with our mentors, hopefully with future projects like the coding camp we hosted, and learn more about coding. Thank you.
One more thing I'd like to add is this graphic we made. We made it for, the ideal goal is, most of you are probably familiar with Snapchat and geotags. We created this to submit to Snapchat once the website launches to gain publicity for our app. So basically I made this graphic for us to submit to Snapchat, so hopefully people will see it and become more interested in it and go into the website.
So that's all that we have. Thank you so much for your attention and time. Any questions?
Judges, at this point, do we have any questions for the students? If not, we have one question.
One quick question. So how much coding experience did you have prior to this project? I know you mentioned Ruby, but prior to that, did you know HTML, CSS? What was your experience?
Early last year, we actually had Mel come out to our school and teach us some HTML coding classes, and that's where I started my process in learning code. So that was last year, February of last year, and so we had some experience, and the four of us participated in the Highland Hackathon in December. And although we didn't like build from the ground up, we really learned a lot, and we worked with like another team, and like we learned how to really build your website. So we're mostly familiar with some HTML and CSS, and that's about it.
And all of us right now are in computer science principles class, and it's been like we're learning these languages, incorporating our use of these languages in that class right now, and